Now I will show you the process by application. So I will write a simple poem as an example in where I apply the steps that I showed you in the previous video about steps in writing a poem. Okay, so in the pre-writing phase, so first the checklist summary. So in here we consider what will be my theme. Uh, like next would be brainstorming, and then next would be I would pick a poetic form or rhyme scheme, and lastly, the suggestion is to read more poems. Okay, so in the first of the checklist, the theme that I chose would be, since we are Burmans. Okay, I will write about a Christmas related poem. So that will be the initial idea for this. Next would be brainstorming. In brainstorming method, I'll just use keywords. So what are the keywords related to Christmas? So I'll write Christmas and caroling, Burmans, red and green, which is the color of Christmas, aside from white and gold. Okay, and then cold as well, as in the weather is cold, and also long vacation. Then there's the family time, since there's a long vacation, and then so there's the 13th month pay for the employees. Okay, next would be pick up poetic form or rhyme scheme. So I'll just go with three stanzas, and then I will choose an alternative rhyme scheme or ABAB. And next, I don't need to read more poems, so I will just be writing a simple Christmas poem. And I've read a lot of poems already in the past, so let's now proceed to the next phase, which is the writing phase. In here, you just write, you just do it. Okay, so what I write in this page will be considered as first draft. Okay, it remember it's called first draft, so it means that it doesn't have to make sense to the readers yet. It's for my eyes only. The first draft is for your eyes only. Okay, and in this video, I'm showing you the process. So I will show you my first draft. So then, what will be my first stanza or my first line? So in the nights of September, the onset of Christmas decorations in Philippines, I wonder why when all Christmas decor has to stop for the ghostly month of November. So I just started. So that is my first stanza. So I just started this idea based on what I talked with a friend on how funny it is that businesses, especially malls and stores, start their Christmas decors on September, but they will change the decors on November for a Halloween theme. So this poem is very direct. So and it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so next let's now write the second stanza. So Christmas songs begin playing, malls become red and green, some children do some caroling, and I've realized this since I was a teen. So the inspiration for this stanza is from Christmas in Our Hearts and based on a common observation about Christmas. The next stanza would be, uh, now that I'm working far away, together with family, Christmas is one way to celebrate a lovely holiday. So basically, that's the entire first draft. It has three stanzas and there are four lines in each stanza. So it doesn't rhyme perfectly yet. So yeah. So on the last stanza, I relate that to my experience that every Christmas I go home to my province, and which will be until New Year. So it's based from personal experience, which is also common to many people. Now let's proceed to the polishing phase. So if the first draft is for your eyes only, the next drafts would be for the readers. With that, it's important to read the poem out loud. Okay, let's. In the nights of September, the onset of Christmas decorations in Philippines, I wonder why, when all Christmas decor has to stop for the ghostly month of November. Christmas songs begin playing, malls become red and green, some children do some caroling. I've realized this since I was a teen. Now that I'm working far away, to gather with family, Christmas is one way to celebrate a lovely holiday. So if I consider the different elements of poetry in this video, the syllables per line varies, so it is not consistent. The first line has 7 syllables while the second line has 14. So and I want them to be the same. So I have to change it during this polishing phase. So other considerations I will have are rhymes and diction. So some end words of the lines in the draft don't rhyme, as you can see and tell, and I have to change that. I prefer that at least most of them rhymes using the alternative rhyme scheme, but there's no need for it to be perfect. Okay, so here is the poem that I have rewritten for the polishing phase. In every year, in every September, Filipinos will make their Christmas decors. It's odd, for there's still ghostly November. Christmas will take a break for the horrors. Jose Marichan songs will be playing. Every mall I see will turn red and green. And the children, I hear them caroling. And there's also the bright Christmas bellin. What I love most in this part of the year is not just the long, lovely holiday. It is the gathering in one chamber, the gathering of one big family. It's a sight I can always imagine. It's always a tune that's warm to my ears. In this cold, cold season in Philippines, it's a one big hug for a one big year. So that's it. As you can see, there's a big difference in the first and final draft. The final draft has 10 syllables per line, and it has an alternative rhyme scheme. Also, I changed the initial decision of 3 stanzas to 4 stanzas. Unless you are required to write 3 stanzas for your class submission or a competition, you basically have freedom on what your poem will be. So in creative writing, you must remember that the first draft is very important because it allows you to write freely and be imperfect. Many times in life, perfectionism stops a person from doing anything. So doing a messy first draft is a solution to handle the negative side of perfectionism. Also, as you may have noticed, I applied the previous topics of creative writing, from figures of speech to imagery as well as the elements of poetry. Okay, so below in the comments section, please suggest a good title for the final draft. No, comment it below.
Troll the ancient